Signal 20 driver. Signal 20 driver. You just struck my vehicle. Do not move. Shoulder hand. Hands are out. Hands are out. Hands are out. Hands are out. Get him secured. He hit my vehicle. Do not fight. I got cuffs. I got cuffs. On your stomach.
On your stomach.
Get him. Get him. Get him. I got a busted window now. He's bleeding from the head. Bleeding from the head.
Stop.
Just get control. Stop fighting. Hold on. Taser out.
Taser. You're
Taser out. You want your tase. Stop fighting.
Stop.
Taser out. Drive stun.
You see that guy attack that police officer's car? He could have killed that police officer's car. That car might have been destroyed from his attack on the machine that drove at him at a high rate of speed right before they jumped on him and arrested him. Those are folks from the East Cleveland Police Department that was shown there. And there's been multiple cases that looked just as bad as that. But 11 officers now, because of this, they've been indicted for these beatings of folks and their misconduct and things like that. Maybe that whole qualified immunity thing is making cops think, oh, I can be motivated to do things like this and I'll just get away with it. Maybe they're cracking down a little bit more. Let's watch more.
Tonight, 11 more East Cleveland police officers indicted for unlawful conduct.
There has been a cancer growing in the East Cleveland Police Department.
Over the last 7 months, 16 East Cleveland police officers have been indicted for 31 incidents of unlawful conduct. Charges include felonious assault, interference with civil rights, tampering with evidence, obstructing justice, and theft in office. Cuyahoga County Prosecutor Michael O'Malley saying these all happened under former Police Chief Scott Gardner.
Clearly, based upon the sheer number, you were probably seeing individuals who were hired, who were taught by people who ought not be teaching.
The prosecutor estimates that the East Cleveland Police Department has 20 officers to patrol the streets.
I'd rather have 20 good cops than 40 bad cops.
There's a lot more footage that they showed as they were talking about some of these officers that they were that they've now indicted and are trying to clean up the force. We don't have to go to more of it because we know how this thing goes, and actually I'm kind of sick of seeing it myself. But here's some of the images that were from some of the compilations that they did put together to point out exactly how bad this has become. Unlawful conduct by his officers. Officer Holman, strike number 3, which means there was 2 before that and probably several after. More of this pattern of unlawful conduct because another officer there kicking folks in the ribs because that's good police work. He's get him on the ground on his stomach so that you can put his hands behind his back, but make sure you get those kicks in first. The FBI has even gotten involved here. A little bit details of that. The Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office and the Cleveland Division of the FBI held a news conference Wednesday to announce the public corruption and civil rights violations against those 11. In attendance were the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor Michael O'Malley, Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Gregory Mussman, and an FBI special agent there as well. And this is the part that really stuck out to me, Jess. The East Cleveland Police Chief, his name is Brian Gerhard, and he released a statement. And I want you guys to think about what he's concerned with here when it comes to misconduct and attacking citizens. The recent indictments of the additional 4 officers that they had to will not prevent my agency from functioning or adequately protecting the citizens. The indictments were expected as this has been an ongoing investigation. I have coordinated fully with the county prosecutor's office and will continue to do so. The county investigator and his colleague from the FBI have the ability to log on to the agency body cam system, and I have been provided all records that they have requested from me to assist in their investigation. So he wants to make sure the community knows, the community that's been getting attacked, that don't worry, we have plenty of officers left. I had to lose these 4. It really sucks. But is he talking about how he's upset and that this many officers were involved in this and making sure he rids the rest of the department from anyone else that does things like this? Because it must just been, I'm sorry, not a lone wolf, but 11 lone wolves, if that's possible.
Yeah, the prosecutor saying something along the lines of there is a training problem. That doesn't make any sense. If you go to do a job and they say, all right, this is a part of the job, you're gonna have to kick citizens. in the back when they're on their knees. You're gonna have to beat people who are not resisting arrest. You're gonna have to tase people who were just hit by a car and are bleeding out from the head and have 2 officers holding them down. If you're told that in your training, many people would look for another job. The type of person who stays is someone who wants to be doing those things. There's a problem with the culture of policing in the United States of America. And I'm sure that there are some people who have an idea about the police that they want to protect and serve their communities. And I bet those folks that do it for that reason are very surprised at what they find when they actually join the service and become a cop and have their first few days on the job, because this is happening all over America, not just in Cleveland. And it's disgusting. And a lot needs to change within our culture, not just some kind of regulation or training given to police officers. I mean, departments that are operating like this need to be disbanded, and we need to reallocate those resources towards other things that are going to keep our community safe. We give so much money to the police today, and we really need to be investing in youth development, in education, in doing all of the things that allow communities to thrive so people don't get to the point where they feel like they need to call the police to intervene.
It's a rejection of the natural process of how things can be better. It goes straight to punitive force and things like that. And they go, well, what are you gonna do if you don't have cops there? Yo, in many cases, people call the cops, and that's when the violence starts. So that argument is pretty dull at this point. But again, when someone hears something like what you just said, Jessica, as far as, it needs to be torn down and started back up in a new way, reimagined even to serve the community, rather than seeing as these bunch of folks trolling around looking at you, waiting for something to go wrong so they can attack. It's a problem. And that's why we show all these videos, as disgusting as they are, because people think, oh, that's an isolated event. He must have been doing something. We've seen countless versions of this, and we've been brainwashed enough to think, I'm afraid. Let's make sure we can't do anything else about this, at least until it happens to you, because it can.